listening pleasure to Milwaukee, the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hip or Critical, with your guides, Alexa MKE and MoKE, Shock the Monkey, MoKE, where we vent or praise on all things that in the end just don't matter.
Yeah,
It
but they do
doesn't
matter.
matter.
All right, Dave, how's it going with you?
Good, good. Still COVID free. Tasted food today, so that's good.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm COVID free, but not the entire family is. So that's kind of sucky because my daughter and my brother or my son-in-law got it, and probably a work exposure, maybe a social exposure, but it's like can't be too careful nowadays.
No, no. You can't. You have to be too careful.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I get my food delivered. One of the places I deliver is Milwaukee Farmers United. So I want to give everybody an updated review because this is something I discovered a few months ago. To reiterate, Milwaukee Farmers United, they're an online service. They've got a bunch of vendors under their, I guess their umbrella. Rocket Baby, Pasta Tree, and then a bunch of farmers that grow fresh things. I have been so happy with them. Everything has been amazing.
Good
We've
food.
got,
Everything you said so far. Produce has been great.
yeah. Produce has been great. Bakery's been great. We've tried, some of the salsas and Tall Guy on a Grill makes this. It's like an apple cranberry sauce. Oh my god, it's a little pricey, but it's worth it. I think I've ordered my fourth jar of it already, even though it's a little pricey.
Do you use it as a jam or what is it?
No, it's like applesauce, but with cranberry too. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, it's
Okay.
like a side. So yeah,
Okay,
no, it's
gotcha,
really
gotcha.
good. Yeah. So and then
Garfield looked like you Garfielded it one night too.
Garfielded it. What? Oh,
Garfield.
lasagna. Oh, ha ha ha. Yeah. So the only place we're really doing carry out from is either Urban Beats or Celesta, and I haven't been to Celesta in a while, and they are not open, and they have not been open since March. And they have very strict curbside protocol and everything like that. So I decided I'm jonesing for lasagna. So I had my lasagna. And anybody, I don't care whether you're vegan, you're omnivore, whatever, they have some of the best lasagna in the city. So I got my lasagna kick in. Roger got a Cubano sandwich, which was like uh, it's a meat substitute ham and then all the goodies on it
Okay, so what do they substitute in your lasagna? What is it? I mean, mostly is it spinach or what is the base?
So they have a cashew ricotta or an almond ricotta. I forget. It's like a nut. They do like a nut cheese, and then they do a like a cream sauce with nuts and the instead of meat they do seitan, which is wheat gluten. So they do a rosemary seitan, and it's so good. And I mean, even if you're not,
Yeah, no. I mean, the lasagna is still lasagna. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I'd give it a try. Hey, your egg salad was like eggs, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, and that's just it. It's like my tofu salad is like egg. It's like egg
Yeah.
salad. It's just nobody would know the difference, whatever. But so you've been out and about. It looks like a little bit.
Well, I mean, I hate to call it out and about just because I don't want to, sound willy nilly about it.
You
But no,
are willy nilly.
estate sales still trying to get around to one on the weekend, and went down to Racine because it had another wooden ironing board in there, and I was kind of like that was my focus, an old wooden ironing board again, and it looked like a hoarder's house, so I knew it was going to be hard to get through, and so we were sitting outside, and I was outside for a half an hour before I got to go in, and that was only about 10 people deep. So I knew people were poking around in there. It was taking a long time because of
Oh
some
yeah.
stuff. But I finally got up to where, I could go in, and I hadn't really seen anybody come out. And I kind of laughed. I said, "Hey, this isn't maybe one of those murder houses, is it? Has anybody come out yet? I mean, I think I should go next just to check it out for you guys. How about that? And So, but no, they only let like I swear 4 or 5 people in there at a time in the whole house. So, you kind of if you've met someone, you waited a second, and no bumping, no shoulder to shoulder anywhere, which was nice. But we went to a different estate sale that the place that we have out in Mequon, and Chrissy had found a butter dish, and then I looked, I found one underneath that she hadn't seen. Look at this old one here.
Ooh.
Got the glass
Is that
insert,
silver or silver plate?
silver plated, silver plated, but it's got the feet on it. Normally you don't see them with the feet on it. I looked it up because it's got a stamp on it. FB Rogers 357 is the mark on it, and it comes up to be like 1883 or something like that. So
Oh,
yeah,
super cool.
$5. Hey, there you go.
Super cool. Super
Yeah.
cool. So have you been watching anything like The Mandalorian, for example?
We haven't started it up again yet
Okay.
because Chrissy's sister's been around and she hasn't seen the first season, so she doesn't want her to start seeing the second season.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right. I'm not watching something because you want to let somebody else watch something. Leave that to them, okay? We're
Yep.
watching.
Yep. Yep. Let them catch up in their own good time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I have criticisms of it, but my coworker loves it, so that's as much as I'll say.
You like the
So
first season? I mean, we enjoyed
I
the
enjoyed
first.
the first season, yeah.
All right.
So
So I'll tell. Yeah, we'll have to get on that then.
yeah. Well, it's
Finish
kind of
that.
like I was behind on The Boys. Now you're behind on
All
Mandalorian.
right. Right. All right. The Imitation Game, though, we did finally check that out. I don't know if you ever saw that with Benedict Cumberbatch,
No, I haven't. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the?
Enigma,
Yes, that's he's. Yes, I did see that.
the birth of the computer. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he was the first one, and oh my gosh, just tragedy again. Boy, at the end, you just like, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, why do we do this to people? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but you know what? Benedict Cumberbatch was really good in that.
He lost weight, made himself really, really feeble and
Yeah.
looking and neurotic. And yeah, it was kind of like watching Sheldon up there, like if you were watching Sheldon, you
Yeah.
know, Big Bang in there. He did a good Sheldon imitation there. So, but no, again, a great movie when you see things that are real and based in fact. That Hidden Figures. Did you get a chance to see that?
I have not seen Hidden Figures. It's on my watch list.
Yeah, that's good as well. Grab that. And then I also noticed just passing because you had mentioned it. Hamilton won his seventh. You wanted him to win.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Now I got to get a Lewis piece of artwork. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton won his seventh world championship. He has equaled Michael Schumacher in world championships, so they're tied. However,
Fewer
Lewis
races,
has
right?
he
Yeah, he
has
did it fewer races.
well, I don't know if it was in fewer races, but Lewis has more poles, more wins, more podiums. It's like he is just amazing, and he's not done yet. He,
No, no.
he didn't sign his contract yet. They're still hashing that out because I think he was waiting till after he won his seventh so he could get a little bit more of this because he's
Right.
become a pretty savvy businessman.
Sure.
But he was so humble on the podium. He thanked his team. He thanked all the people who helped him. He thanked his family. And I mean, you hear these, kind of like speeches, but you could see, he was tearing up. And then he also his mask said Black Lives Matter. And then he also was kind of talking about how Formula One, when they go to some of these countries, there's some human rights abuses that they need to start addressing that and holding these countries into account if they're going to have Formula One races because there's the elite of the elite. These are all billionaires racing.
Right.
And so he was talking about that and talking about climate change. And so not only did he win his seventh, but he also used it as a platform, which I thought was not necessarily unique, but unique to Formula One, that's for sure. So,
Right.
it was
Good
pretty
old
cool.
boys, good racing club again. Part of it all.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. But then we had some tragedy.
Yeah, a long time coming, I guess. Really, I mean, everybody's kind of He's been on the watch list. So, but we
Yeah.
get rest in peace, Alex.
Yes. Yeah. Alex
What's
Trebek.
this? Who passed this week in the last 2 weeks? Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
boy, what an icon! Yeah, definitely.
Again,
And
another humble guy who,
yeah,
really, he kept everybody in the loop, which he didn't have to. I mean, it was his
no,
health. He could have been very private about it. Instead, he was very public about it and was very gracious, to all the people around him. So you feel like we lost, an icon.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. My throw my hat in the ring. I want Ken Jennings to replace him. I think they'd be the
That's
right guy to do.
interesting.
Yeah,
That,
I don't want anybody else but Ken Jennings to do it. I've seen Ken enough. He's
yeah.
been on the show enough. He's a good enough guy. He's got a quick enough wit. It's dry. It's good. He's like a
Cool.
Pat Sajak, and I think he'd work fine in there.
Yeah. Good. Good. Good.
I don't want him to pull out anybody. I don't want to see Sinbad or Michael Strahan or you know.
Yeah, but like a personality like that doesn't work. You have to have there's an intellect that goes with that.
Well,
Um,
that's what I'm saying though. I just don't want. I mean, hey, I'm still not behind Carey, not Jim Carrey.
Drew
Drew
Carey.
Carey on Price
Yeah,
is Right. I think he does a terrible job, absolutely terrible job on the show.
we're sitting here. We're critiquing game shows now.
All right, so then on to Cookie Book. I got my Cookie Book.
Yay! You got the physical one, not the one online.
Right. I went and got the physical one. We went in line, so we got four. We had to give them out, got mom and dad,
Okay, so I
mom.
see you've got some things here. Tell us about what looked
Yeah, the cookie book
delicious to
actually,
you.
we thought 50 years or whatever, and I heard 92 years they've been doing it.
Yes.
This year's theme was Wisconsin bakeries. So the couple of ones that I found in there was, and I don't know how, Fudolettanini, Fuilentini.
Okay. So I don't know if you spelled this right, but it's Fuetina.
That's how it was spelled. I did. I transferred the whole thing.
Okay,
I
it's
thought I
probably
did it right.
Fuetina.
Hey, Lido.
Oh, you
So
see him, but there he is. Everybody sees Lito's butt.
Futuine. All right, whatever that is. But it just seems like it's a no bake cornflakes. Like instead of like most people have like no bake oatmeal cookies. It's like a no bake cornflakes. So
There
that
you
looked
go.
easy enough. I don't think I could blow up the kitchen with that one. And
That's
then
a
they
good
had a
boy.
hot chocolate shortbread. And that's from 600 Sweets out of Glendale.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, so everybody kind of had a little bit there. So we have to give a to see if those are any good. I'm sure they'll be good. So,
I
but
hope
it's
they're
fun again.
delicious.
It's funny when my kids again saw, well, I didn't know that was such a big thing until all of a sudden it starts showing up, and I go, yeah, it's just one of those old people big things.
Okay, boomer.
Oh, I gotta tell you, so I was doing something and didn't change the channel in time, and all of a sudden I look up and the Bachelorette's on,
Oh my
and I'm,
God, Dave's watching The Bachelorette.
oh my gosh, and it was the time when I knew it was coming because you just see articles from time to time and just see stuff, but that one of the people ran away, the woman ran away with one of the bachelors before the show ended. They ran off.
Oh, geez.
And word has it is because during the COVID lockdown, they were getting to know, looking up each other and talking to each other prior, and kind of more than they should have.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Little
So
bit of hanky panky going on before the
well,
whole thing.
they had got a connection prior to the show actually starting. So
They let them do that?
no, well, it was the COVID. It was a new thing. You know what I mean? I think they were all trying to feel it out. This is, what's going to happen this time. So,
Yeah.
so that's what I believe is what happened on that. But I can just, as I'm watching this, I can just feel my IQ going down. My head's starting to hurt. You know. So I
It's like,
switched the channel.
oh no, I'm getting dumber.
I just so I switched the channel, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, there's Neil Tyson deGrasse, Grassy Tyson Neil, whatever his name is, Neil deGrasse
Neil
Tyson.
deGrasse Tyson, the physicist.
And there he is doing his Cosmos thing, which is from a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah, I saw the whole thing.
Yeah,
He's
so
no
I
Carl
got back.
Sagan as far as like delivery and everything, but you know, it was still pretty decent.
Oh, he's one of those voices. He's got a great voice to me. Yeah, um, just like the Allstate. It's the Allstate guy.
Oh, geez.
It's really him. All right. So then I kind of that evened it out a little bit. I kind of jumped the IQs back in. I stuffed some more in with Neil there. So.
That's awesome. All right, well, we're gonna move on. I didn't do my bubbles before, so damn it, my bubbles went away. There we go. There's some bubbles. So did you see that thing about Twitter is prepared to ban or at least censor some of what Trump has to say after January 20th?
Yeah. That's why he's buying Parler or getting into Newsmax or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's buy one of those so he can just spout out.
So he can just drivel whatever he wants. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just for the record, he's repeatedly violated their policies while he's been in office.
Just because he's the president.
Yeah, and they're letting him go because he is a world leader, supposedly. But, hi. I'm getting bit on the hand right now.
Roger!
It wasn't Roger. But, but yeah, so it's like, calls to violence, misinformation, lies. It's like, you're not supposed to be.
He won again on Tuesday, or Monday. Monday said, I won the election. That was a tweet of his.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Again, lies. So you were talking about Parler. Go ahead. Go for it.
All right. Well, it's kind of funny. That thing popped up on it. I hadn't even heard anything of it. And then all of a sudden I saw the mass exited from Facebook on 11/13. They were going to, this is when everybody was going to exit Facebook, And I looked down at the people in my group, my friends that have clicked on it like they're interested or whatever, and they were all Republicans.
Yeah, isn't that funny? And did you know, you're talking about Trump getting, his little fingers in that. That was co-founded by one of the Cambridge Analytica people. So, if you want to go to Parler, you're basically going to have an echo chamber for stupidity. So go for it.
Well, they still have their standards, and as they say that you shouldn't be able to spam on there, but they spam you with pro-Trump and pro-Republican things. So it's
like I said, echo chamber.
The Republican, and they will shut down some things. They won't let you give excrement pictures. Apparently, the guy says you're not going to do that. So.
Oh, okay. So you can't post shit, but you can shit post.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Well, the guy himself, one of the owners, somebody on the platform did a ticker tape and redid a Photoshop saying that somebody else owned it. Had just bought it, Parler, and he had to go back in and he doesn't take it down. But he does a thing back. No, I still own it. That's how they combat it. You don't take it down.
Yeah. It's going to be a cancer on.
But it is kind of funny. Internet. It's like the people who wanted to jump on there. Right, folks. You know what I mean? You think you're crazy until you you're not crazy until you go over there. Then you're going to find out what crazy really is.
Or they're going to believe some of the crap that people are saying because they don't.
Right.
What I'm just going to go off on a little tangent here. When you're reading the news, you have to look at the source. Same thing with research papers. You always look at the source. You look at the source for research papers, you find out what money is behind it, who's funding it. So if, for instance, the cereal companies are funding something that say, well, sugar isn't that bad because there's a lot of sugar in cereal, then you have to take that with a grain of salt because that's not a real double-blind research study. Same thing with butter's good, fat is good, Oh, bacon's great because that was funded by the
egg
pig.
Whites. No, egg whites, yes, no.
Yeah, and so if you're looking at, I don't care whether you're right or left, if you're looking at a biased media source, you're going to get an echo chamber. And when you have an echo chamber, it gets very dangerous. So you need to go to other sources, like maybe even outside the country, like The Guardian or Al Jazeera, and you start looking at what they have to say, or the BBC, and then there's
Right.
Japanese. It's like
It's so funny. It's like with the Republican thing. I took a screenshot of that and I shrunk it down so that the two people's names that were in my group that would show up are interested in this. They kind of say blah 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 is interested and blah 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 is interested. I didn't want to specifically call them out. When I made this comment with my Facebook page, so I cropped it enough so that their names weren't in there. One of the people whose names I cropped out, who never comments on anything of mine, writes, commented when I said that, hey, I guess all these Republicans are going to be leaving tomorrow. See ya. And he put clown underneath there. And I'm like, you just proved my whole thing.
exactly.
I took your name out of it specifically not to call you out as a Republican, and you went and just showed yourself that that's the only reason you're going there.
They inserted themselves right back in.
Right back in.
Well, there you go.
Clown.
That's that big brain
Funny,
stuff
clown,
up there.
Clown Spidey? To make you laugh, huh, Spidey?
Yeah. I don't know.
Funny like a clown, huh?
All right. Well, here, we're going to move on to Is This Critical? So, what do you think, Dave? We, critically high. We'll talk about critical. How about critically high?
Hey, I didn't see today yet because we got doing this right away. Did we beat 7,000 yet again?
Well, yeah, but here's the deal. I mean, not only are we critically high, but we're not talking about weed because why would we legalize weed in Wisconsin? So actually,
we don't need to.
I updated the numbers. We are trending as of 11:15. The 7-day average was 61.68, which is going to go up because today we were over to 7,000 again. We have 323,000 positive cases. Oh, and I got you on there while I'm talking. And then 2,000.
I should have been moving or something.
You should have been. 2,741 deaths so far since March. 92 deaths today.
That's not enough.
I mean, seriously.
That's not enough. That's not enough going on yet. Not enough. Not enough. There's not enough chaos for me to change my habits.
Well, okay, maybe this will change your habits. No, you're fine. It took the state 7.5 months for the state to reach 100,000 cases. 7.5 months for 1,000 cases. Now we're going to talk about exponential. This is what exponential growth means. 36 days after that to reach 200,000 cases. 18 days, additional days, to add another 100,000 onto that to reach 300,000 cases. So in approximately 2 months, we went from 100,000 cases to 300,000 cases. So, I mean, seriously, people, what do you expect? I mean, let's keep, going to the grocery store without your mask. Let's keep packing the bars. It's stupid. And I know I had on there Thanksgiving gathering for the end of the other thing, and so we're going to talk about that in a little bit too.
Well, that's why I want to throw that Serve Hall thing in now. So you saw what happened at Serve Hall with the guy?
Yeah, actually, I do want to talk about that, but we'll talk about that when we get to the election stuff because it kind of all ties in. So, so they brought a mobile morgue into Marathon County. That's how bad it is, and I have a little comment on that I don't have in the notes here. So on Reddit, I was reading, I read that mobile morgue, and then I read on Reddit, a guy was talking about that particular story, and he said, here's the deal. He thought it wasn't going to affect him. Then his uncle had a cough one day, went to bed, next day woke up dead, he had COVID. So his uncle was older and had comorbidities. Then he had another uncle who started having chest pains, had to go to the hospital. Hospital couldn't take him. Beds were too full. Sent him over to Wausau. Wausau was too full. They sent him to Marshfield. Marshfield was too full. So in the meantime, they're giving this guy medication. He's had a heart attack or is in the process of having a heart attack. Then they sent him over to Eau Claire. Both hospitals in Eau Claire were too full. 18 hours later after he started having these chest pains and began having a heart attack, he fortunately was able to get a bed at Wausau. They gave him 3 stents and he was able to survive. So even though he didn't have COVID, he could have died.
Yeah.
So people who think that you're, fine just not wearing your mask or walking around, going to the grocery store with, 40 million people at weird day, in the middle of the day.
Sick from regular things they get sick from.
Yeah. And I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I've gone to either doing curbside delivery or curbside pickup delivery, or like I said, we go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks at 6:30 in the morning. I mean, it's like, there's things that can be done. And we're not going to stop it.
There was a nurse that was talking about how she's had an influx of these old people that are dying, and the last words to her are, I'm not dying of that. It's not COVID. What is it? I can't believe it's COVID. No, I have lung cancer. They have to explain, no, you're COVID. You're dying because of COVID. No, I can't be. They're in such denial still because they believe
How
in the
sad
guy
is that? That's frightening and sad.
It is.
And let's take this one step further. And I know I've said this before. It's somebody's family. It's their grandma, their uncle, their dad, their sons, their cousins. It's their family, and they're dying alone because they don't let you have anybody with you when you have it. So, everybody just start acting responsible. It's like ridiculous. It really is.
You're responsible, people. Can we talk about this now? Is it time?
Oh, well, I want to talk about Madison real quick. So Madison, as of 11/18, is going to be prohibiting indoor gatherings, which means you cannot have any indoor gathering whatsoever, even in your home, except for your immediate family. So people who you live with. And if you have an outdoor gathering, it has to be 10 people or less. So that means anything. So if you want to go do anything,
that's shutting it down.
And that's what they had to do because we have stupidity. And now we'll go to Serb Hall. Let's go to Serb Hall.
All right, let's go. And let's go to Serb Hall. All right. So the guy, he's had a couple of Trump get-togethers there in the past. Apparently, they've gone without a hitch. But he told them, that he's going to let them come here as long as they observe the proper things for the COVID. Our friend David Clark was there. Ex-sheriff David Clark.
Cowboy Clark.
Yeah, was there.
The cowboy fans who wears a cowboy hat.
Right. So the manager sets up the Serb Hall for these people to make sure they're socially distanced, wearing masks, and the people start coming in. And of course, there's too many people. They're not wearing masks. They're not social distancing. They're not.
I want to add something. The health department sat down with Serb Hall the day before this event happened and told them, if there isn't social distancing, if there's too many people, if they're not all sat down, you will be fined.
Yeah, we're going to shut you down. There's no warnings. Yeah. There are no warnings anymore.
There's no warnings. Right. And Milwaukee County's been brutal. So good for Milwaukee County.
So yeah, the guy. So
Milwaukee City, I should say.
They start being Republicans, and they aren't social distancing. So what happens? He tries to grab the microphone, says, "Well, I'm dispersing you people. You're not paying the right attention to the situation. You're not following the guidelines. We're going to go." And he gets the mic taken from us, shoved to the ground, and kicked. And
this guy who's been friendly to this group. Yeah. Well, yeah, and then the health department did come in.
Correct.
Yeah. The health department did come in and issue fines, multiple fines. And the thing with Sheriff Clark is, not only did he get up there and bluster a bit, he's praising the Proud Boys, which is a white supremacist organization, which I just find kind of strange since he is not white.
No. Gosh. Oh my gosh. That's just how much it means him trying to pretend. That's denial. That's
Yeah,
denial.
there's denial, like, whatever. So we did have an election. I don't know if you remember this.
It was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, that thing
What
we
is
had
today?
November
What is
3rd.
today?
We
Halfway
all
through
kind
the
of did
month?
this thing. So yeah. So I see you've got the numbers for how much it's going to cost our
Well, this is great, isn't this though? Isn't this great that when it if you we foot the bill, Wisconsin, if it's 0.25% or whatever behind the winner. All right.
Okay, and I would just want to point out this was a change that the Republicans made.
Great. All right. So, and he's lost by about 6/10, so he doesn't follow that in. Now the 1% you can always ask for one, but now you've got to pay for it. And the last time we had one of these, it was only about 1.5 million, 2 million. In fact,
No,
she
it was
paid
three. It was $3 million in change.
3 million, but she got money back in the end.
Did she?
So
Okay.
yeah, so she paid that up front. But they say it's all double over double because of everything you have to do to make sure you can have all these people around in a safe environment. So the check is $7.9 million. And
And you got to pay it up front.
Don, we're gonna need that up front. Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, telling the president that you need the money up front is just beautiful. I mean,
But it saves Wisconsin because hasn't he grifted us enough with Foxconn and all this other crap?
right, right. Leaving people sitting at the airports and not paying for the buses to get them back and everything like that. Yeah, yeah. So that I love that. Bring on the recount there. Bring it on.
Yeah, I agree. He's gonna lose that too. So let's go to a little bit different. We're gonna take a different tact. So Summerfest is they lost one of their sponsors. So now Generac has announced that they are going to sponsor a stage at Summerfest. It's going to be a major stage. They're also going to sponsor Military Appreciation Day and something called Summerfest Tech, which I didn't. I was trying to look for a little bit of information on that. I wasn't able to see what that is, but I think it's really cool that they stepped up and they're going to, kind of work with Summerfest because it's a Milwaukee institution. Generac's been in Wisconsin forever, and they're doing well. So, yay, Generac!
Now, which stage did they take over?
It just says they're sponsoring a major stage, so I'm not quite sure.
But Harley Davidson gave up their stage.
Well, and yeah, I think that probably is the one that they're going to
That may,
sponsor.
now, I really want to know what happened there. Who pissed in whose Cheerios that Harley Davidson decides to pull out of Summerfest?
They didn't piss in anybody Cheerios. Harley is bleeding, and this is
Yeah.
money they cannot afford.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out what's going on there, and they're doing this big rewire. It's called, the rewire. That's their new tagline on them stripping everything down to their core values. You know what that means?
Yeah, it means that they don't
Fire
have any damn
everybody.
money.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did talk about Harley last time with the e-bike, and hopefully that's going to go somewhere and help them. But one thing Harley's been really bad about is changing with the times. I mean, that motor that they have in the Harley, it's was engineered back in the 40s. So, we need modern technology.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, this Harley. I mean, if you can't make yourself a stage here at Summerfest, but they have their own little thing they do every year too, and maybe they won't do it anymore. They have their anniversary parties they
Yeah,
always
they
put
have
on.
it's around Labor Day. They always do the Harley anniversary. So I'm trying to think
Right.
when the next one's supposed to be, like the next big one. So because I know I used to sew the patches on for everybody, 100,
Right.
101, 102, 103.
Well, I have my 50 hat on in celebration, Summerfest 50 hat.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah. That's
Oh, yep, it's
awesome.
on there too. I noticed well, one of the pins. I have a couple pins around from the years I've gone. I lost more than I have found. But hey, look what else is on there.
There's the V pin from Penzies. Yay. so so did you see the Ted Perry tweet?
No, no, not until you. I read that and I went like, Does she mean our Ted Perry?
Yeah, so for people who don't watch Fox 6, I watch Fox 6 sometimes. They're kind of fun.
I do. And he is smug and dry. And sometimes he's too smug for me, but I just now love him more now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's kind of, he blows hot and cold for me too. But his tweet, I didn't have it quite right. It says 2020 takes Alex Trebek and leaves Mitch McConnell. Just end already, meaning just end 2020. But people were like thinking that he wished Mitch McConnell dead.
McConnell, well, he did in the first half. He just didn't
Yeah,
double
kind
up
of
on
ish.
it. He just didn't double down on it.
Yeah, he didn't double down on it, but he issued an apology, deleted Twitter, Facebook, and all that other good stuff. And I guess he's been suspended for at least a week, they said. Could be longer.
Two, I thought maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Jessup Risbeck, who was like one of their morning people, said something on something that they didn't like, and he ended up leaving, and now I think he's over at News 58 because he likes.
Oh, is that why Jessup left?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
gosh,
said something.
because I like Bill Walsh and he's gone to the weekend, so I don't know if Bill wanted that or they did that to Bill, but I don't like Jessup. He is just too Jim Carrey for me,
Yeah, he's pretty animated. I don't think he fits in at 58. I think he fit in better at Fox. So
yeah, that's the old folks. The 58, no, it's the old peoples. 12 is really the old peoples with Sally.
Well, I think 58's pretty. You know what? Milwaukee News just skews boomer, doesn't it?
Jerry Taft.
Oh my God, Jerry Taft. Do you know he rode motorcycles? He used to come out to Blackhawk Farms and ride.
Really sweet.
Yeah. Was it Jerry Taft? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It was Vince.
Yeah, Vince Candela, right?
No, Vince Gibbons.
Vince Gibbons. That's it.
Yeah.
Vince Gibbons.
Not
yes.
Jerry Taft. Vince Gibbons. That's who.
Yes,
it was.
yes, that's right. That's correct.
Yeah. So.
Well, I did want to give a shout out to this because it is a milestone, but Kim and I don't know how you say the last name when it's like that. I tried to listen at Ni. Do you just go N? Kim Ning. I'm sorry, Kim. But she is the GM of the Marlins. So and she's had a great rise. She just came out a 10-year stint with. Actually MLB itself. She was in like the head office of Major League Baseball.
That's so baseball. Cool.
Yeah, for 10 years. So she's, someone who knows everything. And I think she was smart enough. She tried for a GM job 10 years ago, didn't get it, jumped into the MLB thing. I think she said, boy, this will get, everything I need out of it and, to go back into the GM. And it did. Works out great. I'd love to see the success with her. And the fact that also the COO is also a woman. So you've got 2 out of 3 people in the top echelon of the Marlins are women.
That's super cool.
Right. And so I kind of like, I thought back to our new Supreme Court nominee. And here's someone who's talking about how, some of her stuff is be subservient to men. And I like how these women went out and said, no, I'm going to be controlling of all these men.
We're not even going to talk about the new Supreme Court justice because it was such an abomination, her being nominated to begin with, when there are so many other people out there who had more experience than she did, were better qualified than she was. But the only reason they put her in was because she would forward an agenda, and that's not what a justice is about. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I think it's a travesty. And I'm all about woman power, but she is not about woman power. She's about, forwarding whatever agenda her people have. And so religion. It's like, it's ridiculous. You should be for the Constitution if you are a Supreme Court justice. So yeah. So did you ever go to Southridge? You remember Southridge?
Gosh, when it was closed, I didn't sneak in like everybody else.
I didn't sneak in, but Southridge was my stomping ground when I was a kid. Unfortunately, it is now in friendly foreclosure. What that means is that it's voluntarily gone into foreclosure. It looks like...
Well, yeah, they told them they had until whenever to raise the place or do something with it, and they never did anything.
No, that was Northridge. That's not Southridge.
Oh, this is Southridge now.
Southridge, over on 76th and Grange. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
in Greendale. So I guess Greendale is working with the people there to make sure that it's not going to become, an eyesore or anything. I mean, Boston Stores moved out of there. I guess Kohl's is pulling out. Obviously, Sears is gone. And and it's a shame that it came to this, but I think the culture's changed enough that that type of mall is no longer, viable. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the space. Because like Dick's is in there now, Golf Galaxy is in there. What's it called? I don't think it's Emporium. I might be have the name wrong, but there's and then there's still some of the old, mall standards that are in there. But
Spencer's.
I think there's still Spencer's. I think there's
Stop it.
still a Gloria Jean's Coffee. Places like that are still there, but yeah, I mean, so they are in friendly foreclosure.
Oh boy.
So, well, Dave wants to talk. He's gonna have a moment. All right, Dave, what do we got?
Yeah, my bubbles. The bubbles over already.
Yeah, I got your bubbles. I got your placard and your bubbles. Yeah, take a sip. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, this is what I again. It's ammo hoarding. All right, ammo hoarding.
Yeah, I don't own a gun, so I'm not worried about that.
There's a run on it again. All right, there's actually some bullets are in a 2-year back order. All right, now this has been happening since '08
I
when
remember that
Obama.
because I was on the message boards for the racing community, and people were so crazy about it. It's like, oh, I gotta get myself this and this. Is like, are you actually gonna use it? Oh, well, I gotta have it.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I mean, so because they thought Obama was going to take it all away from them, whatever. Again, back that was the great conspiracy theory of Republicans back then. They'll take
Don't you
your guns
remember?
away. You
Don't you
know,
remember after 8 years of Obama, nobody had a gun?
yeah, exactly. I'm like, I called up my uncle because that's why he kept on spouting that stuff, and I go, has he knocked on your door yet? What? 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 I said, have they come for your guns yet? What? And he goes, you said that they were going to come for your guns. I just want to know, have they? Well, no. Well, it can happen. No, it can't happen. Don't you understand why you believe it?
The Second
Anyway, so then,
Amendment, the right to bear arms.
right, yeah, bear arms. And then the Sandy Hook came along, and there was all talk about weapons, being, tightened up at that point. So there was another run on that, on bullets at that time and guns. And then now we've got civil unrest. And so people are hoarding bullets and guns again. Now, here's the thing. When you go and hoard toilet paper, you're going to use that toilet paper eventually.
Am I? Am I
It,
going to use it? I might
the,
not. I might get a bidet. I may never
not
use
the,
it.
yeah. Are you using a wipe and then rinsing it out? What are you doing if you're not going to use it? But you're going to use the toilet paper. Now, when you have all this ammo at home, when are you using the ammo? You're not. You're not even going out to the range with it because, well, I can't. There's an ammo shortage. I'm not going to go out to the range and fire it.
Well, and did you see the prices on ammo? It's
Well,
like,
yeah. Well,
seriously? They might be hoarding it like gold. They might be like a little dragon and just putting it underneath them and like, I'm going to keep
that's
my
it.
ammo
It's,
warm.
it's supply and demand. So again, you're not even going out to the range and using the stockpile you have because you're paranoid that you're not going to be able to replace it. So you're not using any of it. And then you hear that there was a run on it. So you go down to the store, you go get more of it that you're not using. So when is the release? This is my thing. When are you going to finally all this pent up, again, the toilet paper, you're going to use that. Where's your pent up demand for bullet use? You don't have one. And that is to me, it's like, what if you went into a guy's house and he says, and he goes, hey, I want to see my collection? Yeah, what do you collect? Flammable materials. What? Yeah, I have. Here's some varnish, and I got gas. I got some diesel. This one over here, some oily rags. That's what it's stuff that was. Well, aren't you worried about it? Well, no.
It's
As
like
long as
Mad
it's
Max. It's
it
like
is, yeah.
it's like It's the bullet farmer. They're just hanging on to all the bullets.
Well, right. You know what I mean? It's like you have all this stuff here to use that can hurt people, and you're not going to use it anyway. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? You know, sell it back to the store. They should have a sell back to the store thing right now. That's what they should be doing.
Well, and the thing
Yeah.
is like I said, I don't know. Do you own a gun? Do you go? Do you go?
Well, see, yeah, here's that. Well, yeah, I go deer. Well, we'll talk about deer hunting. You know, my uncle, the one who thought Obama was going to take his guns away, he passed away. He had at least 10 handguns. 10. You know, I mean,
Because he was an octopus. I
big,
mean,
yeah,
seriously.
big Glock, little Glock, a little, there was no PPK in there from a 007 gunner. I probably would have snapped it up. But, he had a 357.
Did he have a
You know,
Ruger? I mean, come on.
yeah, that I would, if it was a real German Luger, I would have kept that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's why I always said, well, after 2 handguns, what are you doing? What are you doing after 2 handguns?
Guns akimbo.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. I did see a good meme. There was a thing that said the guy said there was an article that said man shoots intruder with gun he kept in the shower, and then you got that little cat meme, the cat with the newspaper in front of the window going like, I gotta get myself a shower gun.
I'd get myself a boat and a shower gun.
Yeah. So yeah, the guy had a gun case, waterproof gun case in his shower, and he actually used it to his advantage. So
Wow. I mean, what are the odds?
well,
I've never been
if it's
attacked
one
in
in
my
a million,
shower. And
if
I'm a
it's one in a
reasonably
million,
good looking woman. Come on.
if it's a 1 in a million, we've already used up our 1 in a million, so it's going to be 999,000 times before we can use it again. Oh my goodness!
Okay, I got to come back to this. Come here.
What?
You
Come
coming?
back to the cat?
I was going to give you guys littles, but she won't come back over here.
Ah.
She
Oh,
came
and
in.
while we're taking a moment, this is my artwork today is a when I was in college, picked that up from the exclusive company in Oshkosh. There's still one exclusive company around, but I actually met GM Betty in there. GM
Oh,
Betty,
cool.
he dressed
I got to show you guys littles. It's
like,
littles. Okay, I'll let her go. She'll not be up here.
but he dressed like Panama Jack and talked. I don't know, just like a politician, just
Really?
how you doing, son?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Exactly. He looked just like a Southern plantation owner with Ron Rico rum or whatever the big hat.
That's fun.
So I picked that up way back when I was in college, because it was Grateful Dead, 20 years so far, and that was like, well, that's really, man, 20 years they've been around. Here we are, 30 years later?
Right? Crazy sauce. All right, well, you got hip happenings. Come on, where's my bubbles? All right, Dave. This is all you because I didn't have anything in here, so
I saw that.
I fell down on this. Dave picked up the slack. So,
all right. Well, food drives are happening right now. Thanksgiving, that's always the way it happens. There's the 20th. There's having one at Miller Park. I know that. Also, that's the Hunger Task Force.
And Hunger Task Force is awesome.
Right. And this was actually a food drive, something that they had, and it sounds like they normally did it at this place a lot of times, but they're trying to do it virtual now. And again, they're just trying to get money donations. They're going to have a envelope catching thing at the front desk. Please come in and drop it off. But if you have food and you want to give it the regular way, there is a phone number you can call. That's a virtual food drive of East Castle Place, and that's on Bradford Avenue.
Okay, and I just want to say, when you're giving money to a place like Hunger Task Force, they can buy so much more with your money because they do get deals and everything. So if you were to go to the grocery store and buy peanut butter, you might be able to get 2 jars. Yeah, and they can get far more than the money you would spend. So definitely.
And the stuff that the people need too.
Yeah, they know what they need. Yep.
Right. And I've talked about Charlie Barron's before. It must be some new show is out there. It's called React. Journal Sentinel Wisconsin invites you to our Start Up Milwaukee special feature. So they must have a podcast or an online Start
Oh,
Up
okay.
Milwaukee something. And Charlie Barons, that's the Manitowoc 1 minute guy, the Youper talking
That's right,
guy.
Manitowoc Minute.
Yeah, exactly. He had one on there. It was actually I think it was actually yesterday, but I think they might be rerunning it again. So just keep your eye out for the Startup Milwaukee special feature. Maybe some neater things around as well. We talked about some of the uh, Christmas lights things going on.
Yes.
The Ingleside Hotel, and I was like, "Who the heck is Ingleside Hotel?" Oh, the old
Used to be the
Country Inn.
former Country Inn.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was like, where's that? And I clicked it on. He goes, oh, right where the Country Inn used to be.
Yep. Yeah, they changed and they remodeled.
Right. So they're doing that the 20th through 22nd. I imagine they're going to be doing it through the holidays, but that's starting already. I think this weekend.
Well, you said this is a walkthrough. Before it used
Well,
to be a
they have
drive-through
a
thing.
walkthrough, and I think you can do a drive as well. I think they said, but they were trying to get to the fact that there is a walkthrough. Pets are allowed in one part of the park, but not the walkthrough part with the lights. Just
Okay.
FYI. And this is something you and I always talk about. How it's been sad that these have been missing. But again, you and I are going to tug on each other's, you know, our sense of should you go or should you stay away. The Milwaukee Makers Market, they had a shop small Saturday coming up November 28th at the Discovery World.
And
That's
I would have loved that in the past. Not
yes,
going. Not
it's an
going.
event. It's an event with people shuffling in and shuffling out. I can't.
No.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Sorry. And
You know,
this is where I think again we need to have, you know, our government, step up and
could they
say
make this?
something.
But could they make this work at all? Do you think they can make a small shop Saturday, a maker's market? Do you think there's any way to let only so many people in at a time, or I mean, like five in the whole domes or something, that kind of stuff.
Well, and I used to be a craft show person. I used to go to craft shows with my mom, and you think about that, and that was decades ago. And I've gone to craft shows since, because I appreciate the makers and people who are putting their blood, sweat, and tears, and then selling it for pennies, because that's what they do. I've already told many makers that they don't make enough money to raise their prices. But you go to something like this and it's like, how are they going to do that? Allow so many people in at a time? Because if you want to browse and shop and look at things and talk to the vendor, it's going to be difficult, because you're going to always feel under pressure to move on.
Yeah.
And if it's a particularly popular vendor, then you're going to have people around. I don't know how they could make this work. So I don't know. Not for me right now. I'm not a crowds person anyway to begin with, and so
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
and that
know.
brings us to the deer hunting heading up. Normally we have 8 to 10 guys, or
Oh, dear.
more, in a kitchen, in one kitchen at one time. There'll be sometimes, anywhere from 10 to 20 people in that kitchen at one time. And that's not going to happen this year. You know what I mean?
Or at
There's
least you hope it's not. It's going to happen this year, just not the smart
not
people.
we're going to make sure it's not happening by us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy that is from Berlin that his wife is big in the hospital, so and they run around town doing a lot of stuff with kids. They give kids and all that. And he's like, "You're not even coming out here to my land." He's not coming out. There's a couple other guys. One guy's up north, and he's like, "I'm not coming down from up north where there isn't any of this down there."
Oh, he's all of Wisconsin is red and critically high, so he's fooling you if he says there's nothing up there because it's
Well,
up
no, but
there.
I mean, he's not going to go where there's more people, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Okay. All right.
He's
That's
hungry.
fair. It's
He's
it's
already
up
got
there.
down going, So,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's my mom usually leaves, and she's going to be there, so it's really just going to be like four of us or five. One like besides family, one guy's coming up.
Yeah, and even that they're saying you really shouldn't be doing. So if you listen to the doctors, and again, this is where I'm talking about, Thanksgiving gathering. Doctors are basically saying don't gather for Thanksgiving, don't gather for hunting, don't gather for any reason, because
Right.
even if somebody's asymptomatic when you're there, they could be shedding virus And
Could
y'all
be.
are going to get sick because it has an R of 3, which means that for every person who has it, they can get 3 people sick. So,
And they can get 3 people sick, and they can get, oh, we're already doing that.
yeah, and we are doing that. So, and that's worse than us. So, but yeah, I mean,
I wish we could spread like COVID.
I wish we could spread like COVID too. But the the fact is that, this is an unusual year. There are years where you don't see people or you don't do certain things. This is the year to just chill. I mean, we've pretty much canceled the holidays. I told you, what we're going to do. My daughter and her son and my son-in-law, her husband had COVID. We're going to wait like 3 weeks because then they won't have COVID. We're going to all get together and we're all going to wear masks and it's just going to be the 4 of us and that's it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing for the holidays.
Yeah.
And
Well, Mom was wondering if we were getting together for Thanksgiving. I could tell she didn't want to. I said, Mom, we're not getting together for Thanksgiving. We're not going to do that. Oh, okay. It's like she didn't want to be the one to say it.
yeah, yeah. And there's some people, I mean, some people just have to stand up and say it because I had told my daughter, I said, I don't think I want to do holidays. It just turned out that she got sick and we can do holidays because by the time we want to do holidays, she will no longer be, well, she's
Right.
had it.
Hopefully. Who knows?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, no, she had it starting over a week ago. So,
Which
they're no
brings us to
longer.
our pearls of wisdom.
It does. Hang on. I got to get you your bubbles. These are Dave's bubbles. So, Pearls of Wisdom again is brought to you by Mr. MoKE, and we're going to let him do his thing.
You best better start believing in ghost stories. You're in one. Captain Barbosa. That's my
Yes.
Captain Barbosa from uh,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Black Pearl, I think,
Oh, Black
right?
Pearl. Okay.
Black Pearl one, yes. But Pirates of the Caribbean, Black Pearl. But that's it. You better start believing in ghost stories because you're in one. And that's the way I feel right now. Folks, you got to start believing in this ghost story. We're in it. All right?
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I mean, we don't want COVID to be real. I certainly don't. Because I don't want to get this shit. But it's like, yeah, it's becoming a ghost story because look at our death
People are
count.
dying.
People are dying, and they're gonna come back and haunt you.
Yeah, that'd be just, oh boy, all the COVID ghosts around. Oh.
Oh my God! All the maskless
Coughing
COVID
while I'm
ghosts.
trying to spook you. Come on.
They'd be like, "It's not real," even though they died of it. It's not
Not real.
real.
Right. President said, "Don't worry."
Well, it's gone now because we're after the election.
Right. And I just still like how we're grinding up here. I still like. Well, I can't believe they didn't. His whole sulking now is that they didn't release their findings that they had a good vaccine before the election. Oh, you wanted the positivity of that because he wants credit for it. Can we give him a plaque or something for now? Just like, hey, President, here's a
the
plaque. All you did for COVID and
the
getting it.
participation plaque?
Yeah.
No, he
Oh,
gets
oh, no,
nothing.
no. He's got to be the biggest, the best, the number one. It's got to say all that on it. You know what I mean?
He
Because
gets
that's all he
nothing.
is.
He took enough money. He
He
spent
wants, he
so
wants,
much
but he wants to
money.
credit history. He says he wants history books. So we got to write a history book real quick and make sure it says Donald defeated COVID-19, and then he'll leave the White House.
No, no, he gets nothing and likes it.
I, Saturday Night Live, Michael Chase said something. Trump said that he won't be leaving the White House, and unless he's dragged by his feet. And Michael Chase just doing one of those things like, I want to see that.
Right? It's
I
like,
want that
oh
to
my
happen.
goodness. It's
Please.
so bad. And okay, so we try not to be political, but this has all become so political. It's impossible for non-political people to kind of not be political.
No, we're not political. We're in denial then. Come on, I had my Icky Trump shirt on. All right, we're rounding up the show. All right.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank our viewers and listeners. Dave's mom, my neighbor Pat, all of my workers who might be watching, and anyone else.
Diane, Shatesy.
And Shadesy, anyone else who stumbled across us randomly. If you like what you're hearing, please
Guys
tell
at
two
Kittner, if
people.
they're listening.
So they'll tell two people, so they'll tell two people. And
people.
Dave and I will become internet famous. Oh, Dave's throwing gang signs. Hang on. There we go.
White supremacy.
No, I'm not even showing people that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit .or.critical, visit our Facebook page, MoKE Milwaukee, and you can tweet me here somewhere on the screen. There it is. Blah, 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 blah. And that's pretty much it. We love you, Milwaukee. We're going to say bye now because Dave's getting weird.
Yes.
More gang signs from Dave. All right, people, stay safe. Wear your mask. We love you. Okay, there's Dave being weird again. Bye.